What is going on, y'all? This is the Caveman. I'm here with Football with Oz Austin for episode 80 of Against the Blitz. And we are coming fresh off of one of the best games of the season. Chiefs Texans it's got me fully energized to power through this episode because my God, that was one of the best games of the season. But before we, of course, hop into it, Discord link down in the description below. Be sure you're joining in there to talk football with us, fantasy football, college football. That's becoming, the hot topic as of late as well. So all of that conversation linked below. But Austin, man, holy shit. This last week's I think we've had all year, if not the best.
Easily. Like even the bad games like Titans and Browns ended up being like a shootout. Every game was awesome. But yeah, this last game on Sunday night, for some context, I'm a Bengals fan. He's a Bills fan. So to see a little slice of humble pie served to the Chiefs after like damn near a decade of suffering it's perfect.
This game ended in such poetic fashion, seeing what has been Patrick Mahomes' right-hand man for his entire career be the one that has not just one drop on the drive, but then the following play drops another pass that ends up in the hands of a Texans defender. It really was kind of encapsulating for how their whole season has gone for them. Just break after break that just has not gone in their favor compared to last year, like we've talked about on a number of occasions, how they just got away with some supernatural, like sacrificial shit last year. And now this year, they can't even catch a pass. It's a crazy contrast.
Yeah, like if you just look at Mahomes' box score, like he wasn't perfect, but like I don't think he played a 14 of 33, 3 interception, no touchdown kind of game. Like I feel like this was one of the first times where I've truly seen everything around him like completely fail. Even like the coaching, the play calling, Kelsey, Rashee Rice was awful. The defense was solid, but that was really about it. Like it was a bad game from just the entire Chiefs team. Like that team is not a playoff team.
No, it's not. This is the closest I've seen to the Chiefs look as broken as they did compared to like the Super Bowl game against the Bucks. But at least in that game, they were flat out outmatched when Mahomes tried his absolute best to keep him in the game. He made some of the best throws I've ever seen not get completed. And now in this one, it wasn't even like that. It was just a complete brain fart. Like they just didn't play the sport as well as they could have. Where, like I said, against the Bucks a few years back in that Super Bowl, they just didn't have the horses. This game, it's just like the first play was a quick RPO to Noah Gray, and it goes right through his hands, and that set the tone. From there on out, they just could not do anything right at all. And Rice was terrible. Like it seemed like they weren't trying to get him the football throughout the course of the game. We were thinking like, where's Rice? Like halfway through the third quarter. And we quickly figured out kind of why. Like the guy could not catch the fucking football.
No, like he doesn't really win routes like on his own. Like it takes like a really high level of design to get him open because he's so good after the catch. But like if he can't even catch the ball, there's a huge problem there. Like if Rashee Rice isn't scoring on tunnel screens, he's not doing anything like right now, and that would really piss me off as a Chiefs fan to see like the one guy that was supposed to be, putting up wide receiver 1 numbers was arguably like my worst player on the field on, outside of the Super Bowl, the biggest game we've played in forever.
Yeah, this was the first playoff game of many that they were going to play. Like every game from here on out, including this one, was going to be a postseason game. And having, like you said, your most reliable guy just be a complete letdown, a net negative consistently in the moments. It just really was shocking because in the third quarter, the Texans, I don't think, had positive yardage. I think they finished the quarter with negative offensive yards, and they kept cutting to CJ Stroud after he would, go 3 and out. I didn't see him smile. I didn't even see his mouth. He had his like chin strap covering his mouth. He was kind of just like looking around when they would cut to him. It just looked like he was horrified, rattled out of his mind. And the Texans looked completely flat because their leader just had no anything, no animation, no excitement, no confidence. And I thought that was it. I thought the Chiefs got into his head and that was going to be the game, but he was given enough opportunities to snap out of it, and he finally did. And they were at least able to get some points on the board to get back ahead. But I thought this one was way over when I saw Stroud's face a lot in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, he looked really good. Like this was the best game I've seen him play, I feel like, all year. And this comes after like weeks of criticism for him because he's been one of the worst parts of their team lately. Like compared to their defense and Nico Collins, like the passing offense has been partially his fault. And it started off hot. And then, like you said, it really cooled down like towards that third quarter into the fourth. Like you started getting worried like they were gonna 3-and-out every single drive. Like they couldn't run the ball, they couldn't pass the ball. He was under pressure, he was freaking out. But thankfully also they have a Hall of Fame level defense that could make some serious splashes come postseason.
Well, do you think that the Chiefs made a mistake going for it on that first fourth down in the late in the second half? It was like 4th and 1 or 4th and 2.
I mean, no, your kicker sucks too.
Yeah.
like their kicker's banging shit off the goalposts. Like I don't hate it at all.
Yeah, I saw some people like you can't go for it there. You can't go for it there, but I don't know. 4th and a couple of yards, I'm keeping Mahomes on the field, and this has been a thing for the past couple of weeks now where I'm noticing like what teams come out on top when they make the right decisions in these moments. And the Chiefs were the first of the bunch that I felt like had it go against them, but it wasn't because they, made the wrong choice. It was because guys didn't execute, and Rice was particularly the guy in both instances where the ball was sent his way and he just couldn't come down with it. But really, like, if I had to give a player of the game award to one guy, it's probably like Woody Marks. That poor guy was like playing his heart out. He tried absolutely everything. Like 26 carries for Woody Marks. That's a load for a guy like him.
Yes. Yeah. Like if I had to think, I mean, I don't know. I couldn't give one player of the game, but I did think that Will Anderson won every single pass rush rep that he tried. Like I don't know about the sacks. I don't know how many pressures he got, but I'm pretty confident that he beat the right tackle every single time that he tried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely did, including on those couple of 4th downs. He was the reason Mahomes had to step forward into the pocket on both of those plays. Like it just wasn't the Chiefs' day, man. They couldn't catch a pass. Their starting offensive lineman gets hurt on the first play and he's done. Well, their backup starting offensive lineman.
Yeah, Wanye Morris is out immediately. Like I wasn't really paying attention. Like I assumed they were showing like a flashback to him getting hurt because I was like, there's no way it happened within like literal seconds. But no, he genuinely got like badly hurt.
Mm-hmm.
On the very first second of the game.
It started with their starting backup offensive tackle getting hurt and then a Noah Gray drop to extend the drive. Yeah. And that, that was it. That was kind of the game. Really the only guy outside of Mahomes and Chris Jones that I thought made like remotely impactful plays was Kareem Hunt, kind of per usual. Yeah. That touchdown run was like the definition of heart and soul in one play.
That's the definition of that dude. Like it is short yardage. Don't ask him to do literally anything else. But short yardage, he genuinely might be the best in the game. Like fourth and 1.5, I dead honest would take him over Derrick Henry. I'm not even kidding. Like genuinely, I would.
I probably agree, given like every single 4th and short, except for the one where Rice dropped it, which I think was 4th and 2. Maybe that was 4th and 4. But nonetheless, I feel like anytime it's 3rd and short, at least, it's always Hunt up the middle, and the defense knows it. Like everyone knows
Mhm.
what's happening. There's just nothing you can do
Yeah,
against it.
It's Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith bulldozing you, and Kareem Hunt squeezing right behind him. Like it's an unstoppable thing.
It really is. Well, the Chiefs are 6-7, and they're potentially out of the playoffs. Like they're going to need a lot of help. They're going to need to run the table. I mean, they are lucky that the Colts are probably going to be fizzling out because that spot was going to be hung up had they not, had the unfortunate events strike them the wrong way this week. So they're going to need a lot. And it's kind of crazy to think that we might be looking at a postseason where, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, and Joe Burrow will not be present.
Yeah,
But
that's insane.
that segues us into probably the other best game of the week in the Bills and the Bengals game. From a Bengals fan's perspective, what happened? What do you think went wrong? What were your reactions?
It was really only what went wrong is always the defense. Like that's always the thing you point to is like, yeah, you turn the ball over, but like in a Bengals game, if you get one turnover, you just turn the TV off because you're like, all right, well, like there is no coming back. Like the Bengals turned it over, they scored in like 3 plays immediately, and then they just ran out of time because they turned the ball over twice. But I think first half they kind of did really anything they wanted, and then the Bills remembered that the Bengals literally have never covered a tight end in their life. Like that was probably the worst tight end performance of the month. Surprise! Like Hunter Henry went for like 140. Like these tight ends are going so stupid. Like Dawson Knox had like his best career game, and that still was like the worst tight end performance the Bengals have given up all year. It's insane how bad they are against tight ends. But yeah, like Burrow looked very much himself. T. Higgins looked incredible. Both offenses were like shockingly awesome in a blizzard somehow. I didn't think the passing offense would be like the things that they both held on to this game, but both passing offenses were pristine.
Dawson Knox hasn't had how many yards did he have today?
Probably like a
Had,
little over 100, I feel like.
I think he had 93, right? Or wait. Yeah, he had 93.
That's insane.
Dawson Knox hasn't had that many yards in a game since what's that? 2022 about? Like
That sounds about right.
yeah, all of his top performances in terms of yardage 117 back in 2021, 98 2022, 80 2021, 70 2022. Like Dawson Knox hasn't even crossed the 50-yard mark in a long time. And he's out here putting up literally 6 for 93. That's insane. And Dalton Kincaid went 4 for 41 in his own right. It was from a Bills fan's perspective, like you said, it just from in the first half, the Bengals did anything they wanted, and all of the city of Buffalo was like, "Yeah, it's over. This is us, and it's over. It is what it is." And it really was reminiscent of the Ravens game in Week 1. It just felt like no matter what you did it wrong. And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden in the second half, some very insane, perfectly timed defensive play flips the entire game on its head, except against the Bengals that were back to back. And it just completely shut the game down. Where against the Ravens, at least it felt like there was still something at the end that could lead to a climatic ending. But then in this game, it goes from the Bills getting killed and then they're back in it, but then they just have the lead. And it's like, wow, that just changed so fast. And it was just because of 2 plays. I feel great about it, but after what happened following the Ravens game in Week 1, this is just not sustainable. You can't win like this long term.
Well, it's hard to also like playing in that much snow, like trying to change direction is impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's certain players that have a style of play. Like T. Higgins has always been good in these kind of games because he's already slow. Like he doesn't need to change directions a bunch of times. Like there are certain guys that like Mike Gesicki went absolutely nuts. There are certain guys that are just built for these kinds of games. Like it's part of the reason why Jamar was shut down. Like James Cook was good, but he wasn't like he didn't do exactly what I thought he'd be doing in this game. Like, there's just certain ways to win and certain ways that you just don't do well in the snow. So I don't hold any like individual performances against anybody. So I think the Bengals just had a really good game plan. They had a lot of really good throws early, a lot of really good catches in this game too. So it wasn't like, I don't think the Bills did anything like super wrong. It was just the Bengals just executing really, really well. So when they tipped off a screen pass that they housed and then got another ball tipped to the line, like all they had to have was like a couple plays in their favor and they were fine.
Yeah, right, exactly. And they just, the Bengals, that is, didn't get them. Really kind of, I don't want to say it sucks because I'm a Bills fan, but I really thought there was a chance if they came out in this game against Buffalo and they finished it out the way it started. I think the rest of the AFC is like, oh fuck, like
Yeah.
out because of the way the Ravens and the Steelers game went. Especially, it's like, oh man, those two teams are really gonna let this Cincinnati win that division, get into the postseason, and all of a sudden, there truly is a top team in the conference again. But it just was two plays that sucked the life out of the entire season, which is really football in a nutshell, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if you look at Burrow's passing chart, it is like blue, like just spread across the field, 20 yards downfield. Like there's like 5 of them. And then both red dots are behind the line of scrimmage. Just insane. I've never seen that before.
I know that Sean McDermott has caught a lot of flack, but he deserves more flowers in this game than Bills fans will want to give him. I know next week, I don't even know who he faced off the top of my head, but I'm sure he'll catch flack for something in that game. He went for it on 4th down twice in this one. That were the correct decisions both times, and it won us the football game. We were not going to get back into it. Brian Schottenheimering with field goal after field goal,
No.
trying to get back into it. And I don't think a lot of coaches in the end of game sequence where it was 4th and goal at the Cincinnati 3, they're up, what was it at that point, 32-28. I think a lot of coaches kicked the field goal there. I think they tucked their tail and they accepted it. Sean McDermott said, we're ending it right here. And they did. So he has been excellent making those decisions in those moments. And from someone over the last couple weeks that has been taking extra notice of those decisions, I really appreciate that from him because at the end of the day, I think that's really what matters as a head coach is what you do with game management. And if you can't handle those decisions, I don't know if you're fit for the job. And McDermott, time and time again, correctly calls when and when not to go. And I think that is the foundation for being a good leader in the league.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that they win that game if they're not as aggressive as they were. Not even just towards the end when they, put the game away. It was like the entire game. They went 4th on 4th every single time because like after the first couple of drives, I just don't think that they trusted their defense enough to win on field goals. Like, why not trust that your Hall of Fame quarterback could just make a play and get like 3 yards in the snow against like the worst defense in the league? I would much rather trust that than punt to Burrow and have him all of a sudden like stop doing what he was doing all game long. Like I much rather would trust my quarterback in that situation.
Yeah, they were 3 for 4 on 4th down in this game. That's why they came back, and that's a big reason why they won. So hats off to Sean McDermott for that. I had one final question. Is T. Higgins cutting off like 4 to 5 years of his life?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought the exact same thing because he had a concussion last week and then he gets immediately concussed again, probably today, comes back, gets probably concussed again. He just throws his body around and hits his head on the ground every single play, which is insane. But yeah, he did not look good. He looked great. Like he was borderline the best player on the field for us, but health wise, he did not look amazing. But they kept clearing him enough to come back in.
Immediately too. It was like he'd sit out one play and then he'd be back.
Yeah. Yeah. like he would literally get up and like hold his head, be like, oh my God. Like, but he just kept playing. Like, I don't understand how they allowed this.
Do you remember the play where he was running a crossing route and I think he just flat out dropped it? Or oh man, I can't remember if he dropped it or they went
There was a
and they
play where like
collided.
there was a play where he got like it wasn't like a hip drop, but it almost looked like one across the middle of the field, and he barely fell. Like it did not look like he was hit hard at all. And he gets up like holding his head like completely. Like that's what
Yeah,
I remember.
I think we're talking about the same play. There was
Yeah.
one where it hit his hands or something. It looked like he probably could have or should have caught it. But then he got up and he looked like really angry. And I'm like, why is he mad? But
Yeah.
I think he was just like, oh my God, my head. I think he was like,
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like
in
he's
hindsight,
like,
when I was reading about it, I'm like, okay, maybe that's what he was doing. But I remember thinking to myself, like, why was he like mad about that? Like, what happened?
no, I think he like was just genuinely like in head pain.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like I feel like whatever he has, it's not like the kind of head injury that's like disorienting you and making you forget. It's like just straight up migraine, like to the
Yes.
like that sharp searing pain. That's what
Yes.
he's got, I guess. Like I don't know, but he does not look good.
No. Yeah. It's not even. It's not funny, but it really is
He's not
insane
like
how they just kept they just
yeah,
kept bringing it back in the game. Like, you got it, buddy. Just hang in
yeah,
there. 30 more
yeah.
minutes, pal.
It was like Denzel Ward style.
Yeah. It's like the when you're playing a video game and right before you go to a cutscene, somebody like whacks you over the head, your person over the head with like a
Yeah,
plank, and it goes the ear ringing,
yeah. He got
and you're like,
flashbanged out there.
yes, you legit get like flashbang, and then it cuts to the next scene, and then you're back on the field. That was T. Higgins today, like
Yeah,
flashbanged, and then oh, I'm catching a touchdown 3 plays later.
yeah.
Oh,
God.
Jesus, man. Well, at least we don't have to see Joe Burrow in the playoffs. And Josh Allen, my good man, you're a very good player. Very happy.
I'd say he's up there. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
he's
kind of
solid, I
good,
guess.
right?
Yeah, he's
Like
solid.
50-yard rushing touchdown. Yeah, no big deal.
No,
Well, Tennessee and Cleveland. Talk about a fun game. Two good old buddies. We saw so many playful TikToks, Twitter videos of Cam Ward and Shadur Sanders in the pre-draft process messing around with each other. And they got to go head to head today. And I don't know what Shadur Sanders did to deserve everyone just throwing their wrist up after any time they do something when he's involved, but I really wanted him to win this one and make that comeback because I genuinely I'm not even rooting for him. I'm just getting sick of people doing that. Like, he did nothing to nobody at all.
no. But that's what happens when you have like a signature. Like people used to discount double check Rodgers all the time. Every time they sacked Rodgers, they would discount double check. And didn't a guy get hurt doing that?
Oh, no,
I'm pretty sure a defender like injured himself trying to discount double check after he sacked Rodgers. Like I think it was a Bears player. But
that's fitting.
yeah, like it's the same thing. Like if Josh Allen had like some signature where he like was like alligator chomping after every time he scored, like people would do that to him every time that he got sacked.
Yeah,
But I
probably.
don't even want to talk about like Shadur. I don't want to talk about Cam Ward. I want to talk about Tony Pollard.
Dude, Tony Pollard can fuck so far off. I'm in a fantasy league where there's 12 teams. For whatever reason, it's 8 teams make the playoffs. So my sorry ass 5-8 team that is injured to shit is going against another 5-8 team poetically for the final playoff spot. I see this guy's lineup. I'm like, I got this. Tony Pollard's in there. He didn't even change out Drake May. He's on a bye. I'm like, there's no way I lose this
Oh my
game.
God.
Like, he barely set his lineup. Tony fucking Pollard is running for 40+ yard touchdowns. I think one went for 70 against the Browns. Like, you can fuck so far off, Tony. That was the most obnoxious performance, most random game ever.
That other guy was me because in one of my leagues we run 2 flexes, and all my running backs were on buys. Like I had Henderson and Dowdle. I was kind of screwed. So I threw a flyer out on Pollard. I was like, sure, like he's good for 6 points. I'll take it, whatever. And then I saw that first touchdown. I was like, wow, awesome. 15 points for the game. We're good. And then he just kept doing it. But he was like pretty still clearly like the best player in that game, which is not something I thought I would say.
Listen to this stat. Tony Pollard scored 28 half PPR fantasy points in week 14. and he had exactly 28.1 fantasy points in his previous 5 games combined. Like, that is insane. He had
We just knew it would happen.
like people that started him, you're insane.
We're
Pollard
intellectuals.
he had 90 of his 161 rushing yards before contact. Like, what did the Titans' offensive line eat today? They heard Myles Garrett was going for a sack record, and they're like, you know what, Tony Pollard, we're just going to pave the way today.
He did get another one though. We're at 20 even,
like,
which is insane.
Yeah, I know. Tony, fuck you, Tony Pollard. Well,
yeah, like the whole like Shedeur discourse around this game is so aggressive, but it's like I don't feel like it needs to be. Like, I feel like we all saw the game. Like, I do feel like he played a good game. The stats were kind of inflated by having like 250 yards of run after the catch in this game. I think Harold Fannin was incredible, but like he also like played solid. Like, I feel like again we're at like the heavy extremes of either he was completely carried by his team or he was the greatest rookie quarterback of all time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Shedeur had, a lot of it kind of, I don't want to call it garbage time, but they were down a decent bit at one point, weren't they? They were down at least 2 scores.
It was just shootout numbers.
Yeah.
It's the kind of numbers you put up when you throw 40 something times. Like,
yeah.
Not to take it away, like he had a couple awesome throws. Like, that's not taking away from him at all, but just the numbers in this game weren't even what I'm looking at, because I feel like they were off on him and Cam Ward. I thought Cam Ward played better than his showed.
Yeah, he stiff-armed somebody into the ground and threw the ball away. I don't know what Brown's defensive back that was, but he literally one-armed, like, stamped him into the dirt.
I think it was Delpit.
Oh, I think it was.
And he's big.
Yeah,
Delpit's big. Like, he's like 210.
Well, I thought Shedeur, there was even the first touchdown pass Shedeur threw to Njoku was placed perfectly. It kind of was one of those plays where if someone asked me to show me one play of Shedeur Sanders that basically encompassed him as a player, it was that one. It was perfect touch, perfect placement. The accuracy was there. Njoku made a great catch and he got hurt. But that was kind of, he really showed that side of his game, why you would hypothetically think he could be a starter in this league, because his ball placement, his accuracy was good, was very, very good. And even though there were some layups that a lot of guys did extra work on, Dillon Gabriel threw 50 plus times and barely crossed 200 yards. So this is an upgrade. This is probably where we should have been earlier in the season in hindsight. But yeah, I cannot believe Harold Fannin is also just God. Like, what a weird game. What a weird game.
It was really weird. I expected this to be like the worst game ever. Like, genuinely, like, I wasn't even going to watch, but that might have been pound for pound the most exciting game in terms of moments, because like it's just the Pollard game. Like, it's just the freaking Tony Pollard game. 161 and 2 touchdowns. Unbelievable. And then it was just everybody making plays. Like, Jerry Jeudy played outstanding. A lot of guys that you just weren't expecting just showed completely up. But like, it's only going to be Shedeur discourse because that's just how it is with him nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But like, there were a lot of guys in this game, Devin Bush being one of them, that deserved like a lot of recognition too.
Yeah, for sure. There was, Carson Schwarzenegger himself had 13 tackles. He's had so many double-digit tackle performances this year. Like, he's only been healthy. He return like maybe week 10-ish?
Yeah, I think he only missed a couple games.
Yeah.
Maybe like 2. Like, it wasn't bad.
I feel like he never has under 10 tackles. Like, he just is consistently racking them up.
Like, if I low-key might put him on my all-pro ballot. Not even lying. Like, this genuinely is like one of the best linebackers in the game.
Yeah, it is. It just was, of course, the game ended up being, well, in tandem with all the Shedeur Sanders discourse that happens, the final 2-point conversion play turns into Shedeur Sanders discourse, because they're like, oh my God, why is he not on the field? He drove you down there, blah, blah, blah. Like, I do think the play call was bad, although to Stefanski's defense a little bit, they have had and found success with the Wildcat a lot recently.
Yeah.
Why they decided to pull out the trickery version is a little confusing. Like if you're gonna go to your bread and butter, I think you just do it. That's kind of
Yeah.
like if the Eagles were, needing a yard and they, need to do a tush push for a yard to win the game. It's like just do the tush push. You don't need to try like one of the fake tush pushes. Just do the play.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think Shador played very, very much well enough in this game to at least have like the threat of him on the field. Like he threw a couple good balls in the red zone to the point where I'm like, even if Stefanski doesn't trust the football brain of Shador to like execute what he wants him to do, I do feel like the defense at least respects him enough as a quarterback to not load the box and prepare for the Wildcat. Like I know you want to run the ball, but you can also hand it off to Judkins. He's pretty good at that too. Like
Mhm.
that's one where I will agree with them on. Like not even having him on the field out there is pretty strange. Having the threat of a pass, like that takes away like 50% of the aggression that you can have towards that run.
Yeah, absolutely. And even though they've had success with it, more recently, I feel like I can recall them getting stuffed more than not. So
Yes.
it was bizarre. I think you could ask some serious questions about Stefanski still, even if by year's end, Shador continues to play decently and the Browns are competing in football games. I don't know. It just feels like a long-winded, inevitable ending. Anyway, it's like I feel like Stefanski's going to be fired. When I don't know, but they're not going to be a successful team. I think year to year at any point with him as a head coach. So I think we're just kind of delaying the inevitable
And
to some extent.
yeah. And
I
I
just
think he
can't
could be a
believe.
really good coach, just not there.
Yeah, he'd send him to New York. Like we don't need him
Yeah.
here anymore. This is long overdue. I just can't believe reports before this game come out that it's possible that Deshaun Watson could be fighting for the starting quarterback job next year, and then
No.
Shadur goes and throws for 360. Like, what the
Yeah. Like I think so I can even just stop talking about it. Like where I'm at with the Shador thing is like I do think that a lot of his performances are being overblown, but at the same time, I do think he's good enough where like I would not be mad if the Browns didn't look elsewhere for quarterback. Like if they just wanted to build off of what they've seen so far, I think that's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
To go after Watson though, like to make that your plan, I think that would be awful. I would much rather lean on Shadur, who's young and hasn't done anything to anybody except for just hold a fake watch in their face. Like it's annoying. Like I think if you want to think he's annoying, sure, but he's not a freaking criminal. So yeah, build on like the 23-year-old young guy that has a good arm than the criminal with like multiple shredded Achilles.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I agree with that. I think I think the Browns at this point, their best approach would be kind of like the 49ers trying to model what the 49ers have done. Just build up the rest of the team as much as you can, then hope to God you can find someone under center that can just operate it. I think
Yeah.
that is where you go, especially after passing up on Hunter last year. You passed on the premium player to get a bunch of what have been very good players. You just kind of continue that
Sure.
process. If you have a high draft pick, trade back, or
Mhm.
I guess depending where you end up. But that's what I would do. I think if I was in Cleveland's situation.
Agreed.
Well, the Saints and Bucks game. This I was very close. This was almost my 13th reason. It was very close. I had the Bucks in Survivor,
Oh.
and there were 9 of us left after 14 weeks, and I lose because Baker Mayfield just not great. He's hurt. It just didn't look great. It was a monsoon. Chris Godwin dropped a pass on 4th down. And that guy Buka is on his Rashee Rice bullshit. Like, where the fuck is he at all of a sudden? And they lose. They lose. It was the Tyler Shuck game. Tyler Shuck and Tony Pollard showed up in week 14, guys. That is the week we had.
And similarly, Tyler both as runners.
Yes.
Like Shuck wasn't even passing the ball all that great, but he was really good with his legs today. Like he took a read option for like a 35-yard rushing touchdown, and then scrambled another one where I think he evaded a sack and like took it left for another rushing touchdown. Like he was showing off some wheels for sure. Like the passing game wasn't quite there. He threw a pick. I don't think he threw for any touchdowns, but he ran in for 2. And Devin Neal was pretty solid too, like in Kamara's absence. And like you said, Baker and Ekbuka were just off. No one else stepped up, and they lost a game that they absolutely should not have and could not have, like, for their playoff chances.
They have given the division to Carolina, as far as I'm concerned. I think they've lost 4 of their last 5 now, and you're staring down the barrel of a conference that doesn't have room for wild cards. Like,
yes,
if you're not a division winner, good luck. Good fucking luck making it.
Yeah, if you're not a division winner, you have to have like 11 wins.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Like someone in the like a couple teams in the North will make it, maybe even 3, but yeah, Jesus. Not anyone else in the South, because like we talk about it all the time, like teams getting hot at the right time is such a big deal. They've gotten cold at like the worst possible time.
Yes.
And I know a lot of it has to do with injuries and players playing through injuries, but at the same time, you'll love it, the coaching on that team is just not good. Like it's not even close to being up to par at all.
No, not at all. And I've gone back and forth on Todd Bowles. Like, before, I was of the opinion that he just doesn't seem inspiring. He doesn't seem like he's a rah-rah kind of guy. I also don't think the defense has lived up to expectations. I guess I kind of expect the Bucks to have a defense that's closer to, let's say, Houston's defense than, I don't know, Kansas City's, for example. And Kansas City's defense is solid, but I kind of think, that's supposed to be Bowles' side of the ball. They have a lot of talent over there. And it just hasn't quite been that win football games alone type of group. And I just don't know where you go from here with Baker. Like, is he going to be your long-term option? He's struggling to stay healthy. Mike Evans is on his way out. Chris Godwin is probably wrapping up soon. It just feels like a changing of the guard might need to be done here. Like, Levante David's still playing football. He probably could hang him up soon. Like, a lot of the core players of the Bucks and coaching staff members, for that matter, feel like they're weaning on their last few years, and they're going to have to kind of start fresh unless they just kind of let it play out until they're an 8-win team and then a 6-win team, and then they're like, oh shit, yeah, now we have to do something.
Yeah. If there was one coach I want to be their head coach next season that's not Bowles, that's currently on that team, I want it to be freaking Levante David. Like, yeah. if there's one guy that knows the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization and knows football inside and out, I would probably bet, if he wanted to, I think Levante David could be like their head coach in like 5 years.
Yeah. I
mean, take the whole Gerard Mayo route. Like, I could definitely see that. And he's hopefully not that bad of a coach.
Gerard Mayo might be the most forgettable coach of all time. Well, he's going to be remembered because he was the guy in the gap year of disaster. But
honestly, he's pretty forgettable even through all that. Like, I keep forgetting that was like a calendar year ago.
Yeah, right.
Like, that was it
too. Yeah, that's insane.
It was one calendar year that he was a head coach, which is crazy. But
my other sicko moment from this game was I had a parlay that paid $1,500 from a $10 bet. I needed Shadur Sanders to rush for a touchdown and to pass for a touchdown. He did that. I also needed Tyler Shuck to rush for a touchdown. He did that. I just needed him to also pass for a touchdown.
Oh, God.
Fucking Tyler Shuck goes and kicks me out of Survivor and doesn't even do it by passing a fucking touchdown. I hate that guy. I had to find some way to live with what happened in week 14. So I made a video about it, just kind of eating crow. Like, I shit on Shuck. I think this is all karma, looking at it in retrospect. I shit on Shuck probably as much as everybody on the internet. And this is just my karma. This is what I get. It all came around back to me 217 random days later, a random week 14 game on an away field, mind you, in the pouring fucking rain with 2 wins. And he just came back to get me. The demon came back, and I guess I deserve it, but I don't think I do. I, I think I'm over it, but I'm not. I'm having a really hard time coping with what happened to me this week. I feel violated by that
Yeah,
white man. Fuck.
Like he's had really cool moments this year, but like against Tampa, like you said, in a monsoon, this would not have been the game that I like predicted him to go off. And especially like if I would have told you, yeah, he scored 2 touchdowns this game, you would have easily slammed that money. You would never have predicted that he ran for both.
Oh,
This is insane.
Like I placed that bet. I was just scrolling through the weeds of betting Twitter because I can be a degenerate, and I see the replies of this random tweet. I'm just scrolling and I see this no profile picture. It's just like some guy named Dan in the replies of some random tweet. Dan like 7, 9, 12, etc. handle. And he sends this screenshot of this bet he has. And it's the Shadur 1 passing, 1 running, and Shuck 1 passing, 1 running. And I'm like, this is so disgusting. It works. And I go and place it. And then I see Shuck runs for a 35-yard touchdown. I'm like, oh my God, who was this guy? And then I go and see Shadur very late go and run for 1. I knew he had passed for 1 earlier. I'm like, holy shit. And then I go back and look, and I'm like, oh my God, wait. Shuck didn't even throw 1. And that was after they lost. So I was thinking to myself, man, fuck, I'm out in Survivor. But then I'm like, oh my God, I saw Shadur run that in. I'm like, I just made $1,500. And then I opened my FanDuel, and that fucking dick. I hate that guy, man. Like, and the thing is, he's just gonna go out there and suck next week, and it's gonna look even worse because that's Tyler Shuck. And do you know what this reminded me of? This game reminded me of when Taylor Heineke with the Commanders in 2020 went nuclear against the Bucks for no reason. They lost because it was a playoff game and they were playing Tom Brady, but it was that kind of game. Like, what?
Yeah, he was on the ground running, like making like diving at the pylon just like Shuck did on that left corner.
Like, what a nasty week. What a nasty, devious week. Tony Pollard. And I faced Tony Pollard. Like, I just got the brunt of all of this. All
of your team won.
Things. I did win because I had Blake Corum and Michael Wilson. Yeah. So we were down bad. What a fantasy matchup that was. Oh, wow. Poor Ravens fans. You know, I actually don't feel bad for them, though. I don't.
No. I mean, they've been spoiled to a degree. Like, have they had to be bad for more than like 3 years at a time in their entire life?
Probably not.
I don't think so. Like they started a franchise with like multiple Hall of Famers. Like they had like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed off the bat, and then now they've had a fantastic team for the last 5-ish years. But the only thing that makes me sad about it is like I'm worried that like Lamar is not going to come back to fully athletic, because clearly like he is not the same athlete right now, and I don't know if it's injuries or what it is, but he's very clearly much less explosive, much slower, not nearly as like dynamic when evading sacks. It just doesn't look the same. Like it looks like Tyrod Taylor out there. It doesn't look like Lamar.
It's scary because just a few months ago we were watching peak Lamar Jackson and we were watching him run around the way he was, and just at the drop of a dime. Well, I guess a hamstring injury. It's completely different. Yeah. And it definitely makes you think, if you're the front office of Baltimore, how do we construct this team? Do we continue to build it around the way Lamar Jackson can stretch defenses out and risk him getting injured, and then we're back to, the 2025 season all over again? Or do we kind of try to work our way into a different offense that has him focused more in the pocket and kind of restrict who he can be as an athlete? And it puts you in this limbo state. Like, what direction do you go in? Because if you try this all over again, then your season could end the second he gets hurt. And we know he can get hurt. So do you try and protect him and limit him? What do you do if you're the Ravens going forward?
Honestly, like, I don't know. I think you have to help him out in the passing game, because I think people have taken for granted so long, similar to Josh Allen, of like, he's made it work with very bad passing supporting casts. So you just assume he's going to keep doing it. But like their receivers suck, like flat out. If Zay Flowers isn't going nuts, and Isaiah Likely isn't going nuts, like they have nothing. Like Rashad Bateman sucks so bad in this game. He sucked all year. He sucked bad in this game again. I mean, Mark Andrews, they just paid him. He sucks right now. Like he's done nothing good for them this entire year and last year, really. I don't know. Like I feel like they're making a lot of the wrong decisions at a certain point when Lamar really becomes like a true like old veteran passer. You would like to see a more well-rounded receiving core with more, traditional passing concepts rather than having him use his legs, but he just doesn't have the same legs. So it's not the same good plays.
No, it's not. And I do think Lamar could definitely play very good football from within the pocket. Although I would be interested to see what it would look like if that's what the offense really started to lean into. Like every single time, I mean, we talk about it constantly. Whenever you have to beat the Ravens in the postseason, what do you want to do? Give Lamar Jackson the ball. You want him with the ball because he will make mistakes. So if you're going to suddenly work your way into a very pocket-focused offensive attack, what is that going to look like? I think that product will look vastly different. And I'm not going to say bad, but I think we will view him in a slightly different light. And
I think so.
I'm not a QB wins are a quarterback stat kind of thing. I don't have any stock in that, but seeing a tweet after the game that Lamar Jackson in his career is 1-6 against the Chiefs, 2-5 against the Bills, 3-5 against the Steelers, and 3-5 in the playoffs. Like, there's a trend. There's something to these numbers. Sure. So a lot of questions right now. So as bad as it might feel to be a Bengals fan where, you're out of the playoffs and things kind of just suck right now, at least your quarterback's still your quarterback. And the same thing for the Bills. Like, we won the game, but in the first half, we're like, oh my God, the sky is falling. But at least Josh Allen's still here, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing with my quarterback in Joe Burrow. Like, he plays a style of football where I'm like, okay, he can do this for another 10 years. Like, he is capable of keeping his style of play up because he doesn't rely on using his legs a ton. He doesn't rely on anything but, his accuracy in his head. So I think Lamar does have underrated accuracy. I think he has a very underrated football brain when it's not being scrambled by pressure. So yeah, I think if they get to a point where they do realize, like, yeah, his athleticism's gone, we're trying to save him from himself, we're not trying to get him injured anymore, catering that more to his passing skills, I think would be good. But like you said, it would be a different product. It would just be kind of saving himself from constantly being injured.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame to think about. Like, these are what ifs at this point, of course. Like,
Sure.
It's very possible he comes back in 2026 and we don't notice anything different. Although, it would really be a crime for him and for the rest of the NFL community to think, like, what if Lamar Jackson could just stay healthy? Like, I fear that might be becoming like a thing because he just can't. And it's always lower body. There's always something with his lower body. It's never like what Justin Herbert suffers. He'll suffer like a random broken rib or like his left like pinky finger is like shattered. But no, Lamar, it's always hamstring, it's always knee, it's ankle, everything lower body. And that's where his power as a quarterback is. It's just really, it's sad, quite frankly.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, he very well could come back next year and be totally fine. But he is reaching that age where he is near 30. And like, that is kind of the time where quarterbacks that have forever relied like almost mostly on their athleticism kind of tend to dip downward. And like, I think he could still make a career as a just pocket passer that is a really good runner on the side. But I do fear that his threat of being like a, 8 to 10 carries a game, read option threat, QB power threat, like, I think those days might be pretty close to being over.
Yeah, I agree. Unk is fading. Well, we thought the same about Rodgers, but I thought this was the best game he's played all year long. Like I thought that was vintage Rodgers out there. There were a couple balls downfield that he was handing off to guys. He had a play where he rolled out. It was like 3rd and 3. He was rolling out right, escaped a crumbling pocket, and he threw a bullet to Calvin Austin on the sideline that was like teleported into his lap. DK Metcalf finally appeared like a random Pokemon, but it really was just Rodgers putting it in buckets. And that's what they're going to need if they want any semblance of a chance to win in the postseason. Is Rodgers looking like that? It's just, you can't ask 42-year-old Aaron to put your team on his back. And that's kind of what it felt like he did. Really.
They couldn't run the ball.
No.
Like they haven't ran the ball all year, actually. Like it's been a very weird thing that they've relied on forever. And they hoped Caleb Johnson would be that. We have learned he might not be that. So it's just a very strange looking team. Of guys that are probably Hall of Famers that have not played that way since they were, maybe like 5 years ago. And they've all came back and played pretty solid football together. They've won some close games, and it's a good win for them. It's another step closer to Tomlin staying another year.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Like if he loses this game, because they always beat the Ravens. So if they start losing to the Ravens, that might be a problem. But they got another win. They're above 500. I think they could easily beat the Dolphins next week and be 8-6 and be in a really good position. And they get the Browns and the Ravens again this year. So solid chance they actually have a pretty decent record at the end of this year.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun. Pretty fun for them.
But
the only question I have about this game is, do you think Isaiah Likely should get a touchdown for that?
Yes. I feel like anyone that has common sense and that isn't trying to rage bait would agree. I don't know what else can constitute a catch in the end zone. Like, it makes no sense to me that all you have to do is have control of the ball, like on a tush push, for example, and you're pushing in. If the tip of the football, even a molecule, crosses or breaks the plane, it's a touchdown, as long as you have possession. But when it's thrown and you have the ball, the second you catch it, all of a sudden you have to take 2 steps and then a third step, and then you have to like juke and then, spin move, and then all of a sudden it's a touchdown. It's like, how come when Likely catches it, establishes 2 feet, not just 1, but 2, with full possession, and then it's dropped, it's incomplete? Like, there's zero consistency there. I feel like I feel like I'm missing something. Like, am I just dumb for asking why those 2 things are different?
No, I mean, because I understand that like the third step would be the football move in this instance, but there would be no need for him to make a football move. He would not be turning upfield because he's in the end zone. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's not trying to stiff arm anybody. He is in the end zone. Like, he got his 2 feet down, and then he's not overly worried about anything after that because he just caught it. So, like, yeah, if you want to be a nerd and pull up the book and be like, well, actually, he didn't get 3 feet down. Like, I don't care. He caught it. Like, that's a catch from anyone that's not a dork. Yep. And then, like there's a reason why everyone knows it's 2 feet in. It's not 3. It's never been 3. That's a travel in basketball. 2 is a football catch, and that's what he did. He had 2 feet down, and then he almost completed the entire process of getting his 3rd foot down. He had his arms outstretched, moving the ball away from the defender. Like, I feel like that's a football move. Like, he caught it with outstretched arms. He moved his arms around to avoid, the defender poking the ball out. And they're like, nope, doesn't count. Like, that's pretty lame. I think that was pretty lame. Like, I see why, like, according to the rule book, but the rule book's dumb.
Yeah, they're gonna have to change that. Like, the football move was him catching the ball. Like, is that not a football move?
The end zone? Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, is he gonna dive forward? Is he gonna like turn upfield? Like, they would have no reason to do that. He's where he wanted to be. He doesn't have to go anywhere else.
Well, you said it too. Like, he did the thing where he like holds the ball out and like literally like the T. Higgins thing. T. Higgins will catch a football sometimes, or Mike Gesicki. He does it often, and he'll just like hold it out there like aggressively, almost unnecessarily sometimes. He did that for a solid like second and a half. Like, what more can establish possession? Like, that is the most obvious establishment of possession I've ever seen. And
So like, so if that's it, so what if I was standing in the back of the end zone, wide the hell open. I already had both feet planted down, and I just catch the ball, and I hold it here for like 2 Mississippi, and someone swats it out because I
yeah,
didn't make a football move. How is that any different?
right, right. Like,
Like
that's
I
incomplete
have two,
then.
I have 2 feet down in the end zone. Literally, like the second I catch that and I pull it down, they blow the whistle.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. He had 2 feet down, and then like the move after that was he was in the process of a whole nother step that is no different than turning upfield. Like he was in the process of something else after those two, and they did give it to him.
Same thing if you're like standing on the pylon with your hands outstretched or something. Like you
Yeah,
like toe tap or you catch it and you're toe tapping and you're falling out toward the sideline. It's like that's not a football move. You're catching the ball and then you're falling. Like I just cannot believe that was some robbery shit. Like I don't know. I don't even know if the rule book justifies it because every single example we've given would be a counterpoint. Like
yeah,
it's a complete gray area. I don't know, man. It's bad. It kind of encompasses where NFL refereeing is, and that reminds me. Did you see in the Chiefs Texans game when replay assist barged
yeah.
in to change a call and then they got it wrong and they had to reverse the reverse of replay assist? Like,
That was so stupid.
who is the clown ass Wizard of Oz type goofball running this shit? Like, this is getting old. Like, these guys are paid too much fucking money. This league has too much money to make themselves look and act like a fool to this extent so often. Like,
Yeah,
it's so bad.
if they want to have just hands off and like just let plays happen, I totally would get that. But to barge in and be like, actually, we noticed he actually did get that first down, and then someone else is like, hey, John, he didn't. It's like, oh fuck, like that's so embarrassing. That is so embarrassing.
I think the worst part is too in that moment. I think it was Mike Tirico calling the game. Maybe not, but whoever it was, the announcer was like, "Actually, I swear I saw his foot touch out. I think they're
Yeah,
wrong. Like it wasn't even like it was swept under the rug or anything. It was immediately called out.
he's
Like,
like, oh, got him.
yeah, like the
Yeah,
attention was brought to it.
good. Call that shit out.
Yes,
It's not their job to agree with the replay assistant. Call them out if they're dumb. Like that's something I like about the UFC a lot. Like if the announcers have a problem with the refereeing, not only do they speak it, but that referee can literally hear them. Like they are like 10 feet from them, and they'll be like, "What a shit stop that was." Like I wish the refs had somebody in their ear that wasn't like a part of their team. Like they need Goodell like on the thing in primetime games, be like, dude, that was a really bad call. Like you might
yeah,
want to pick that up. Like our ratings are gonna be shit if you call that. That's what they need.
yeah, they do. I don't know if you also caught, but we all know the virtual measurement bullshit they introduced really is
Mhm.
useless. Like, there's no point in it.
We've
But
never done it. Yeah.
I found it funny that at one point in the Bucks, it was either the Bucks and Saints game or the Colts and Jags game because both games I think were pouring rain at least at one point. And I remember at one point they made an announcement that the virtual measuring system isn't working in the rain, so they're doing it the old school way. Like, really, the rain is impeding our ability to use virtual measurement? Like, what are we doing here? I'm to a point where I am so anti. I am pro AI for some things. I'm anti AI for taking people's jobs. But if we were to just get rid of every single referee and replace them with robots right now, I'd be happy. Let
Yeah, that's
AI,
cool.
let AI
Well,
robot.
that's like a luxury job. That's like a really cool job. That's not like a job of like of mass production or anything. Like that's a job that a very few lucky people get to get. Like
Yes.
if they're not going to be good at it, cut them. If we're
Yep.
talking about like factory workers or like essential workers, like mailmen, like no, let them keep their jobs. But
Yes.
an NFL referee, keep it out of my game.
Yeah. I don't need these humans
No.
making shit up anymore. Bring in the robots. AI, time to ref football games. I'm sick
Yep.
of these. I'm sick of these incompetent old men that can't do their job correctly. Holy shit, man. Wow, what a bad showing from the NFL this
Yeah.
week on that front. Well, the Bears Packers game was a fun one too. And I really so badly wanted Caleb Williams to pull off that final drive. And we were talking about it in the Discord when it all kind of unfolded. I thought that final play where Caleb threw that pick, I thought that was on Cole Kmet. I don't know if you watched it back, but he won at the line of scrimmage, like with his release. He was open, and that's why Caleb was looking at him and not looking at DJ Moore. But he kind of like either slowed up or we saw him end up in the back of the end zone. He kind of just like straightened his route out instead of continuing on the path he had taken upon his release. And I know Caleb's going to get shit for it, but I thought that was Kmet's fault. I know he's getting shit for not seeing DJ Moore, but when you see a wide open player the second he releases, and that's one of your reads in the progression, in fact, it's the first one as far as I'm concerned, then I'm not going to blame him. But it was
the DJ Moore discourse is really annoying.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's people that have like they don't understand how a football field like looks when you're on it, and how like what it would have taken for you to see DJ Moore over there like jogging his route. Like he basically is standing where the linemen are at the time where people are screaming that he's wide open. Like he's not going to see him there because he's waiting for that little area to clear out. Like there are 3 Packers directly in that throwing window where DJ Moore was. He had to wait for them all to clear out before he finally decided it was time to turn upfield and make himself seen. But by then, Caleb was already like his arm was already moving forward on the throw. He's not going to pump like completely stop the throw just because DJ Moore started to become open. Like he already committed to his throw. That's people like looking at the orbit and being like, well, technically, the better throw would have been the short pass because he was more open. Like, I don't care. Like, be open earlier. Like he already committed to the play. It was 4th down. You can't wait. He threw it up to the 6'5" tight end who didn't come and get it. It was weird. Like you said, they ran to the back of the end zone on a play where I feel like if he flattened his route out a little bit more, he had like yards of separation.
Yes.
And instead he just booked it to the back of the end zone like they had to score a touchdown on that play, where instead they could have just genuinely got a regular first down and still had like 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, that sucked. But I'm happy for the Packers to some extent. Like I do think this was a big win for them. They're becoming scarier and scarier by the week, even though this still kind of had that like feel of why are they not putting this game away? Like Caleb Williams was like 0 for 7 on his first 7 passes. It felt like they could have pulled away and not really made it a thing toward the end. So shades of that side of Green Bay was still existent. Jordan Love threw his government mandated bozo interception because that's just what he does. But he did come up big on that last drive, the go ahead touchdown drive. He made a couple good throws. Christian Watson is becoming just a wide receiver 1 all over the place. Like he's really coming into his own right. So it's a scary sight in the NFC North for all of the conference, even because if this defense continues playing the way it does, and they're winning football games despite they're beating good football teams despite the Jordan Love miscues at times. Like it's them and the Rams right now, I think.
It is. And the Rams looked awesome. Unfortunately, they just beat the shit out of the Cardinals too much to even like really get into it because it was highly uncompetitive. But the Bears kept it a good game, and I think that this speaks to the coaching as well, where even a game where Caleb struggled pretty poorly for a large chunk of the first half of the game, they were still in it. Like they still clawed their way back in it. They finally started being able to run the ball a little bit. They had a couple of really awesome throws. That touchdown to Zacchaeus in the corner of the end zone was nuts. That was a crazy throw. They just had one play that didn't go their way at the end of the game. I feel like they were still very much on the Packers level, though.
Yeah,
throughout most of it.
agreed. They got a lot of good things going for them. We've talked about the Bears a bit these last couple of weeks, and there's really not many other teams you'd rather be a fan of than the Bears for these next few years. So good for them. Good for them. The I feel like the only other pieces of news that are worth talking about aren't really directly whole game related, but like I don't I feel so bad for Daniel Jones. Everything that's happened to him this year, it was so deserving up until these last 4 weeks where it's been the most undeserving karma ever. Like, why did he have to break his fibula? Why is he tearing his Achilles? He's the nicest guy ever on the craziest redemption arc we've seen in the last 15 years. And the football gods are like, nope, fuck you, buddy.
Yeah.
You're dead.
And there's people like victory lapping it. They're like, see, I knew it was a fluke. Like, yeah, okay. You called it. You knew some invisible man would shatter his leg with a hammer and then just pluck his Achilles from his ankle. Like it's sad stuff. Like that is honestly the most rootable quarterback like possible. A guy that, had high expectations, was shit on by an entire state, by an entire country, by an entire, league. And then he tries and tries again, keeps failing. He comes back. He starts off so good. Has a couple down weeks where even they weren't even that bad of down weeks. Like they were just average weeks. And then he gets injured to all get out. And people are like celebrating it weirdly. It's very odd.
Yeah, it is. Like these last few weeks, they've lost like 4 of the last 5 or something like that. Mind you, the frame of time being when he broke his leg to now. And people are like, yeah, he's reverting. There's good old Daniel as we know him. It's like he's playing on a broken leg. Like his fibula is shattered. He's playing with some like 3D printed. I don't know if you saw that news. His buddies from Duke 3D print some equipment so it can hold his fibula in place. And they've done it for other parts of his body in the past. It's like he's got plastic holding his fucking leg in place. And you're sitting here saying, oh, yep, there he goes. Oh, good old Daniel. It's like, read the room, dude. Like,
shockingly, like the big athletic quarterback is a lot worse when he can't move. Like, okay, awesome. Like, imagine any quarterback if they couldn't run like that, like they normally do. If they can't plant like they usually do. Like, it's the most stupid thing ever. So sad for him. Sad for the entire Colts team. There's a team with very low expectations that beat all of them, and now they're very humbled for, like you said, absolutely like no reason. Like they were slapped with a humble pie that just did not need to go to them.
No, like they weren't obnoxious. They weren't unrootable.
No, they were so
nothing.
humble. Like they were like, yeah, dude, this is awesome. Like, yeah, let's go, guys. We're doing great. And then they all just got like just shot.
Literally, like DeForest Buckner goes to IR with a mysterious neck injury. I think Grover Stewart got hurt too. Sauce Gardner's calf gives out. It's like,
dude, it reminds me of like, I don't know if you've seen that video of like a raccoon that got cotton candy, and then he tried washing it in the river and it like disintegrated because cotton candy does that in water, and he was so upset. And there was no reason for a raccoon to like lose his cotton candy. Like there's no reason for that, but it happened and it was really sad. So,
oh my God, that is a perfect depiction of how I'm trying to like imagine this season for Indianapolis. But that is it. It feels like watching this helpless, innocent, just so nice and cute animal or person or kid just have what they were enjoying just taken straight away from them. For no reason.
Yeah, for no reason at all. Like that's exactly what happened.
But there's no one to blame, which is even more aggravating.
No.
Like, I want to blame somebody, but I can't. It's just the football gods were evil.
It's just football. Like that's all it is.
Well, the couple other things that I think are worth talking about. Is 9 back? Is 9 alive? Is he here?
I don't know. I think he definitely did a lot better than Jamarcus Russell this game. But like, I think that was a little bit. He definitely made a couple good throws. Like I don't want to shit on the guy. He definitely was pretty solid. But like, it's just a weird moment where we're like, oh yeah, 163 yards, baby, we are fucking back. This is our first round pick, baby. Like it was solid. Like 16 of 23 for 163. Like this is kind of the bare minimum of what a first round pick quarterback should be doing on his best days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think coming off of Max Brosmer's
yes,
porta potty stinker. It definitely is refreshing. It's nice to see. Like if you would have went from where everyone was with McCarthy a couple weeks ago, and then to Brosmer, and then McCarthy just coming back and it's sucking again, we might have to put a lot of the entire city of Minnesota on like some watch because they'd probably be very sad, very
I
depressed with
think
their state. But
the only reason I can't get down with it is because still Justin Jefferson had 2 catches for 11.
yeah,
Like for whatever reason, they cannot get him the ball. They can't do it. Like, and I know like we've jokingly said he's not quarterback proof, like it's like that whole joke, but like he's better than 2 catches for 11. Like he's way better than that. And for some reason, they just can't find a way to get him the ball. They found a way with Nick Mullins. They found a way with every other quarterback they've brought in there. For some reason, this cycle of quarterbacks cannot get Jefferson the ball.
it's really bizarre. Like it's almost like they're trying not to get him the football. Like they're just okay with moving it the way they are.
Yeah, which is weird because they suck. But like this game, it was good. Like this game, like they really got the tight ends involved. They did what they wanted, but just like, yeah, no, that's not doing it for me. Like Addison was good. They had a couple passes to Naylor, but yeah, if you want any chance of being a really good football team, you have to get your Hall of Fame receivers involved, or else not only will your team suck, they will want to leave.
Can't look at these pictures of him, bro. Like the pictures of McCarthy on the timeline from that locker room. That fucking 9 thing. Like he did himself such a disservice, man. He is going to be a reminder to all young quarterbacks to not do something cringy.
That's what I'm telling you. It's not even just Shadur. It's anybody that says anything. It was Russell Wilson with all of his alter egos.
yeah.
It's JJ McCarthy with 9. Like it's literally any quarterback ever that has tried to make like a motto or do something similar to that. Like they will get made fun of every single time.
Oh shit! That reminds me, we didn't touch on Dallas Detroit. I knew we were missing a game. Well, because I was thinking, you said Russell Wilson, and then I was thinking of how Richard Sherman and George Pickens got into it on social media.
God,
and I find it ironic that people were saying, "Oh yeah, Richard, you're washed," or you weren't good toward the end of your career. But in all reality, Richard Sherman would have George Pickens packaged up in a FedEx box and without a single reception every single time that they matched up against each other. Like that's the exact receiver Richard Sherman would have clawed into oblivion.
I despise the whole like you were bad when you were old. Like, yeah, okay. Awesome. Like find any old man and just make fun of him for being bad at stuff when he's old. Like that makes zero sense at all. Like he was easily one of the best corners of our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. Like he was on the cover of Madden. Like this guy was legitimately a monster. And they have the nerve to be like going after his play. That's insane. If you want to go after his personality and him trying to break into somebody's house, that's different. That's fair game. But like, yeah, he's still like a 1,000 times the player Pickens is right now.
Yeah, and that was really a lot of the discourse following that game was Pickens' effort, like just jogging on routes, not giving 100%. And I think there's 2 sides of how I feel about this. On one hand, it's like, yeah, dude, you're getting paid millions of dollars. Well, at least you're eventually going to be. And you are now, but you will be getting even more. It's like, just try. Like, this is your job. You should care more. But on the other hand, it's like, why are people even shocked anymore? Like, this is the George Pickens roller coaster. This is the experience. If you're going to put him on your football field, if you're going to pay him money to play for your football team, then you have to know what you're getting into. Like that's just how it is. And if you don't like it, you get rid of them. If you like it enough, then you keep them. But you can't get upset and be surprised every time it happens. That's where I'm at.
No. I mean, he's still young too. He's probably like 24. Like there still is plenty of time for him to keep maturing. And I think they've done a good job overall of keeping him mature, like keeping that immature stuff off the field. Like he had a quick lapse where he put something up on his Instagram story. It got deleted. Like he showed some steps there of being angry and then getting rid of it. That was good, but yeah, that's a bad moment. Hopefully, it's just a moment and it's not a full thing. They keep it at a moment, and that's the only negative thing we have to say of Pickens all year. That's a win. Like that's a total win. We're not talking about any Jermaine Burton stuff. We're not getting
Yeah.
into anything crazy. Like it's just that, and that's fine. But yeah, I think it's very worth the criticism. I do think that he had a lot of pretty lazy reps where that crazy effort we've seen all season was very dumbed down.
Yes, like George Pickens with the ball in his hands on a slant route will drag 100 dead bodies to the end zone, but then George Pickens just running a clear out looks like he's on a Sunday walk. It's like if he even gave like 50% of the effort he would when he's hauling ass with the football, it would be fine and unnoticeable.
Yeah. It's like if he doesn't know that he's going to be the one getting the ball, there's like a real like effort lack there. So like if he's like the second, third option, he's not as interested, which is just lame.
Yeah, it's very lame, especially when you have to step up as the number one receiver in a game that you have to win. And you are pretty much phased out of the football game. He was five catches for 37 yards in a game where really I thought Dak played pretty much as good as you can ask him to. Jake Ferguson is the most hated Cowboy, I think, to ever wear a Cowboys jersey.
Yeah, like those Cowboys fans don't know how to really hate bad players. They hate their okay players, which is way worse. Like that left tackle Nathan Thomas, like was not great. Freaking like Al-Qadim Muhammad had 3 sacks in this game, and no one cared. No one talks about it. They're all mad that Jake Ferguson and George Pickens aren't doing great, but like they're not mad. No one cares about their bad players. They only want to hate on the ones that they paid.
Yeah, they're like, we really paid. Everyone hates. The second Ferguson does something bad, you immediately hear a mention of that extension. Every time. Every single time.
Cowboys fans hate all their draft picks. They hate, like, they were like Donovan Ezerako bust. Dude, I hate this pick. It was a second round pick. And they're like, no, awful. It's so bad. And it wasn't just like anyone particular. Like, this was the whole fan base.
Yeah, and then meanwhile.
But it's justifiable. Like, they have been through some shit lately. And they still have like a really solid football team that should be worthy of a playoff spot, but they're still not going to get one in all likelihood. And like, it's just the same, like, why not be pessimistic? Nothing good happens to us. We're just Cowboys fans. Yep. Like none of the ones that are my age have ever seen success. I would also be really upset.
Yeah, me too. If I had to see this talent go to waste this year, I would be bitter. I would be super bitter.
Yeah, like imagine if George Pickens has like some kind of team crash out down the stretch and he leaves in free agency and like this was all for naught and they have to like completely restart with their weapons. That sucks. Javonte gone.
Yeah. No, I think Javonte is probably the number one priority for Jerry Jones.
He should stay around. He should come back.
Well, to Detroit's credit, I mean, I never thought I'd see a game where Jahmyr Gibbs was held to 43 yards but scored 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and as a receiver, he was incredible,
a phenom per usual. I think that is he's made one hell of a case for Offensive Player of the Year. Him, and it's going to be him and JSN. I think unfortunately Jonathan Taylor is probably going to really fizzle out down the stretch here because of external circumstances. So it's going to be down to 2 guys, and oh, man, I'll be damned if it's not Gibbs. I think right now I would give it to Gibbs. Just eye test, just based on the eye test, because he's a broken player.
It's not crazy. I think the only thing that gives JSN the edge is like the consistency on like you are going to be good for 95 yards at least. Like you could bet on it. And Gibbs wins in so many weird ways. Like he'll have games where he rushes like 15 carries for 33 and then we'll still have like 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. Like it's madman stuff. He's unbelievable. But like we said, like he won, JMO won, St. Brown won on a bum ankle. Like everybody on offense won. Goff played one of his best games I've seen in a while. Like it didn't even feel like the ball was hitting the ground. It just everything they tried to do worked. And I just felt bad for the Cowboys defense.
Yeah, that was the effort we saw from Detroit needed to be matched by Dallas because both of them needed this game equally as much. And it just wasn't quite there for the entire Dallas team. And I made a video about it, but that goes from a coaching perspective too. And going back on the whole decision making on fourth down thing, I think Schottenheimer has far outdone the expectations,
Yes.
which is good. But I also think if we can't figure out this game management problem, I will call it a problem, then I think it's fair to ask if he's truly the guy. Like, I think he legitimately was the top reason they weren't given a chance to win. I won't say that they lost.
Yeah.
But the only reason they got back into the football game to begin with was because they finally started scoring touchdowns. If they just continued accepting field goals as their fate, they would have just been behind, trailing the way they were the whole time. So for people to yell at me when I say that they should not be kicking on 4th and 2 from the fucking Lions 12-yard line when they need 10 points to win or to tie, that's bonkers to me. That is a no-brain go situation when you have watched your defense get walked down drive after drive after drive. Like, it just is, it was inexcusable from Schottenheimer for someone so young too. Like, you'd think these young guys have a good grasp on the new age of decision making and analytics and fourth downs. Like, I'm shocked that he's so not good at it.
Yeah, that part pissed me off. Was like the general reaction to them deciding to take 3 there. You really are willing to bet on your defense to stop this Lions offense over your own offense just to get like 3 yards? With those 2 receivers and Javonte and Dak, like, I would bet so much more money on that offense to go score to go get 3 yards than I would be to trot my defense back out there. Like, Tom Kennedy returned every kick to the 50. Every single one was past the 40-yard line, it felt like. So all they had to go, all the Lions had to go do was get a couple first downs and the game's over. And they did exactly that and more, and ran the score up because, like you said, there was zero aggression. It was, we're going to try and bet on our defense for some reason. And they got shredded in 3 plays. It took 3 plays to prove everybody wrong there. And ultimately, it wouldn't have mattered because they scored that touchdown anyways. But, like, in practice, you could have kept that game way closer if you go for that touchdown because it ended up looking like a blowout.
Yep. I thought before halftime, too, they should have been going for it. I think having Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboys is a blessing and a curse because they know he can hit from anywhere on the field. But that also makes them think, okay, 4th and 3, 4th and 4, we don't have to go for it. We're not at that point in the game. So we'll just take our 3 points because we can from this far out. But if it was any other team with really any other kicker and they had the Cowboys personnel, they'd be like, yeah, of course we're going for this because why would we risk this long of a field goal? But the Cowboys and Schottenheimer are like, we have the greatest kicker to ever bless our sport. So we'll just settle, we're good. But that was the reason why I think they took so long to get back in the game to begin with, and then ultimately blew it at the end. So yeah, it sucks because, we've talked about it week after week. They're just such a fun team. And the fact that we're not going to be able to see them in an important game is just robbing us of joy, really.
Yeah. I have no joy. None. Having to see that stupid Eagles team in here and not them.
I know, like, I'm fucking over it. The positivity bunny. They have the positivity bunny in the locker room now. Did you see that? No. Well, the news of the Eagles bye week was 2 big stories. The first one, the Eagles installed the positivity bunny. It's just this big blow up bunny that they put in the middle of the locker room.
I see him. I love him.
Yeah. So
it's
that was
Easter bunny.
That was the first one. The second one you'll appreciate. The other big story. Devontae Smith this bye week decided to get into juicing his fruits. So he got a juicer and he's been making his own apple, pineapple, and orange juice. And that was making its round. So the Eagles are really focusing on internal growth and mental health. It seems like this.
Yeah. Juice it. That's going to do it, man. Not changing the play caller. Nothing. Juice. Yes, we need maximum antioxidants. Not mesh.
Devontae Smith, he's looking kind of old. I don't know if you've seen him lately, but he's kind of looking like an uncle.
Yeah, he's kind of always looked like an uncle to me. Like, he looked like a baby that looked like an uncle.
Yes.
Like there are just some kids that like look like old men when they're like 15. He looks like a 15-year-old that looks like an old man.
Yes, he does. He absolutely does. Well, I think that will wrap up our Week 14 recap. I hope that everyone has as good of a week as Michael Wilson does when Marvin Harrison isn't playing, because if you do, then you will have a very fruitful next 5 to 7 days. So if you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, share, join the Discord link down in the description, and we will see you in episode 81.